Hey guys, so I'm finally back with another video and more content that you need for free code camp. You guys, I want to let you know something. I had stopped kind of doing a routine because I thought, I'm going to a code camp right now. I'm actually in a code camp that's going to help me, get a job as a developer. But what I realized is that you cannot sit up here and do what other people tell you to do all the time. I mean, yes, I'm going to do my homework for them and I make videos doing that, but I need to constantly be doing what I feel is the best. And so I want to let you guys know, do what's best for you. Like, don't stay in the lines of a curriculum, code all the time, whether that be free code camp, um freaking code academy, wherever it is. Just make sure that you're coding and you're doing your due diligence to know what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And you can learn that in a lot of different places, not just wherever it is that you're learning. Even if you're learning in free code camp, go outside of free code camp, because that's what I did. And I'm outside of it right now, but I'm coming back to this because like the homework that they're giving us is about WordPress and kind of like it's getting off of coding a little bit. But I myself do not need to stop coding. So that's why I'm making this video. Let's go. All right. So we're on the responsive web design situation here and we're at the end of it, about to get my certificate. I definitely need to keep going because I'm like at the end of this, and yeah, I need my certificate. Okay. So step 1, you will be building a happy flappy penguin and further exploring CSS transforms and animations in the process. Begin with your basic HTML boilerplate. Include a doc type declaration, HTML element with a language set to English, appropriate meta tags, a head, body, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So you see, to be honest with you guys, like I need to do this because I'm like almost forgetting this stuff. So let's do this. This is going to be good. All right. All right. So let's do this. Oh, I thought we were going over there. I won't do all of that. They just asked me to put the title, so that's what I'm gonna do. Mm. Oh, you gotta link your style sheet. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So we do that inside of I'm trying to blank here, guys. Okay, so it's link rel. What is the problem now? I think it's the head. I need to put that here. Oh, so you do want me to put the two meta elements. Okay. You see how they don't tell you about this. You're just supposed to do this every time. Mm, viewport, content set to. Oh. Goodness, you guys. You see how it's important to code every single day? My goodness, that was a struggle a little bit, you know? So we want to remember these things. And fortunately enough, you know, VS Code and some of the coding editors, they do those things for you by heart, but we want to just make sure that we know them anyway. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Target the body element to set the background to a linear gradient angled 45 degrees clockwise, starting and ending. Okay, so we're in CSS and we're gonna target the body, right? And so we're gonna do RGB. It feels good to code again. It feels like home. You know, I haven't coded in so long, to be honest with you. An ending at, oh, I forgot how to do ending. How do I do that? I need a hint, y'all. Sorry. So you do linear. Okay, so all you gotta do is put linear gradient and then mm 45 degrees. Okay, I see how they did that. It's inside the parentheses, then the ending. Ah, look at that. That looks nice. Normalize your page sizing by removing the body elements, margin, and padding. I got it right. I'm happy. I was scared about that one. Like, am I doing this right? Okay. Normalize your page by setting the width to 100 degrees and height to blah, blah, blah. Remove both horizontal and vertical scroll bars and prevent programmatic scrolling using only one property. How the heck do you expect us to do that? Y'all, I gotta do some research. Like, I'll be back. My goodness. All right, you guys. So I looked up how to make the horizontal and vertical, how to remove those scrolling bars. It gave me for vertical max with 100 and then overflow X hidden. But when I try to make it run, it says check your codes. So I'm gonna change this because it says overflow should be clipped. And it's not overflow X, it's just overflow. So let's see. So now we know how to do that. We need to really make note of this and keep it in our memory. Like max width 100 and then overflow clip. Like, how would we know that? Coding Camp has never told us how to do that. Within the body, add a div with a class of ground. Okay. All right. Target the ground element and set its width to take up the full width of the viewport. Then set the height to 400 px. We need to look at this. Target the ground. Where's that at? So let's go over to HTML and see what he's talking about. Oh, okay. We just made that class. My bad. All right. Target the ground. Set its width to take up the full viewport. So I'm thinking that's 100%. Hopefully I'm right, y'all. And then set the height to 400 pixels. Do you guys think I'm right? Let's. Nope. It's got something to do with that width. 100 W. Interesting. You should give the ground element a width of 100 VW. Okay, so just so we understand, 100 VW is going to take up the full width of something. So, let's remember that. Because Free Code Camp likes to do that. They never tell you that. And then now you just happen to run into that. So now we know. Give the ground element a background. Background with a linear. Gradient of, how did we do this last time? Well, let's scroll up a little bit. Linear. Oh, it's outside parentheses, you guys. Linear gradient. 90 degrees. RGB, another parentheses. 88, 175, 236, and then a comma, and then we're going to do it again with the ending one. So are you guys remembering how that format is? Hold on, let me see. Did I do something wrong? 90 degrees, RGB, 88, 175, 236, and then RGB, 182, 255, 255. Come on, that's exactly what I'm doing. Linear. You should give the ground, the background, linear gradient, 90 degrees. RGB, 88, 175, 236. Why isn't that working? That's exactly what I have there. All right, you guys. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is here because I'm doing everything right. Is something spelled wrong? RGB 88, 175, 236, comma RGB. Oh, it's this. So I basically had a parentheses where I shouldn't have. I knew it was something like that. All right, so it looks like we made a ground. That's probably the ground that the penguin's going to be standing on, and in the background is the sky. So as the dot ground element will be third in the stacking context of the page layout, set its Z index to 3. Position absolute. Okay. Above the ground element, add a div with a class of penguin. The target the penguin element and set its width and height to 300 px. Use the margin property to horizontally center the penguin element and set the margin top 75 px. How is that not? What is? Oh. What? Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, to create some scenery in the background, you will add 2 mountains. Above the penguin element, add a div with a class of left mountain. I'm gonna drive home the fact. Oh. I want to let you guys know that it's not about just getting these right answers. It's more about trying to understand what's actually happening here. And what's happening is we're creating divs as a setup to do what we're about to do in CSS. So, of course, we're in HTML right now. We are landing the foundation to create all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes I feel like Free Code Camp can just take you on this journey, but it's like you have to understand what it is you're doing and remember it and know what it's good for. You know what I'm saying? So just don't blindly code, understand how you can apply these concepts, so that when you try to create your own thing, there's not going to be a test. It's just an empty editor for you to figure out what you're going to do there, and what you're going to create. All right, target the left mountain we just made, and we're going to give it a width and a height of 300 px. Then set the background to linear gradient starting I'm thinking that I might have did it wrong right here, you guys. Let's give this another parentheses. Give this one another one too. Let's go like this. Okay, let's see what they got. Yeah, that's what I did. But I didn't have this. Left mountain, background, linear gradient, RGB 203, 221, 228, RGB 80, 183, 255. Do you guys see what's wrong here? Because I don't like at all. There's a space right here. Maybe that's the problem. Oh, thank you, Jesus. All right, let's see what we made here. Look at that. Looks like a little square. To prevent the mountain from pushing the ground element, adjust its position to prevent it from taking up space in the page layout. See, they want us to think on our own right now, and I don't know what to do. So let me see. To prevent the mountain from pushing the ground element, adjust its position. What do they want me to do? Absolute? Oh my gosh, you guys, I got it right. I hope you got it right too. To make the mountain look more like a mountain, you can use the skew transform function, which takes two arguments. The first being an angle to shear the x-axis by, and the second being an angle to shear the y-axis by. Use the transform property to skew the mountain by 0 degrees in the x-axis and 44 degrees in the y-axis. I'm not sure if that's X and this is Y. I might be off. It might be the other way around. Oh, they're telling us the first being an angle to shear the x-axis. Okay. But they're telling me to use the skew. Skew belongs in there somewhere. You should give left mountain a transform property. Oh. What you saying? Since it's a property, I do this instead. Hmm. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like everywhere. Hmm. All right, you guys, we're gonna erase what we did here and go skew, and then put this on the inside of it. I'm clapping for myself. Look at what that did, you guys. Look at how it's turning out over there. All right, set the stack level of the mountain element such that it remains directly behind the ground element. Set the stack level of the mountain element such that it remains directly behind the ground element. Hmm. Hmm. All right, so it says I should use the Z index because on this one, you guys, I really have no clue. They're kind of wanting us to do things on our own, you know. Um, I don't know what the number would be. I almost got it right, you guys. Wow. Now let's see what they asked us to do. Set the stack level of the mountain element such that it remains directly behind the ground element. Okay. To overlap the mountain and ground elements better, give the mountain a margin top of 100 pixels and the ground element a margin top of minus 58 pixels. Oh, look at that mountain coming along. I see you. All right, to give the effect of mountain range, add another mountain by creating a new div immediately after left mountain. So this one is going to be called back mountain. Target back mountain. Set its width to 300 pixels and height background to linear gradient. I'm not looking up there because I don't want to see, you know, I want to do it on my own. And I think you guys should do that too, so that you can learn it, you know. RGB. Width, height, background, linear gradient, RGB 203 228. Aha! All right, set the position property of the back mountain to prevent it from taking up space in the page layout. So how would I do that? Something about position. Maybe it's relative. They used that before, but I don't see it doing anything. No, maybe it's static. They're always using absolute. I just thought that they would use a different one this time. All right, change the stack level of the back mountain element such that it is directly behind the left mountain element. We're doing this again. Oh, change the stack level. Well, for that, what did we use, you guys? We used the Z index. What? Oh, I kind of get it. I'm starting to see what they're doing. Because when I made it a 2, it was in front of it. So now it's probably going to have me flip it. Okay. Yep, rotate the back mountain element by 45 degrees clockwise. Then give it a left property of 110 pixels and a top property of 225 pixels. Rotate it. How will we do that? I don't know how to rotate this thing. I mean, what element is used to rotate situations? All right, so I'm gonna start with the left. Top. And then let's Google, you guys, how to rotate something. How to rotate in CSS. Let's see. Oh, it's just the element rotate. Where is it? Let me see. Transform rotate. You see that? Okay, let's do it. It did it though. Okay, let's see. Oh, 110. You see how easy it is, you guys, just to Google. Don't try to Google the answer, but I mean, of course you want to Google the answer, but what I'm saying is the way that you research it, don't look for it like that. Research it the way that you would if you could never find the answer anywhere else. This was just a regular project, if you know what I mean. Because it's not really about getting the answer right. It's about learning how to learn, you know? All right, to finish the background, add a sun by creating a new div element immediately after the back mountain. Div class is sun. All righty. Give the sun element a width 200 pixels too. Why does that look like that? Why is it brown like that? I don't like that. Oh, it's because I use parentheses. There we go. Set the position property of the sun to prevent it from taking up the space in the page layout, and set the border radius such that the sun's shape is a circle. Position absolute, I guess. Border radius. How do you do border radius? Guys, I'm on to freaking something. I'm doing it. Oh my gosh, did I get it right? Oh no. That doesn't look right. Yeah, let's see. Oh, they want 50% only? That is not looking like the sun at all. A border radius of 50%. Oh, got it. All right, you guys, as you can see, I did the same thing with 100 pixels. So, but I guess it's in percentage, but maybe you could do it the other way too. But I'm going to stop this video here. Check out the next video. It will be a continuation of this lesson. I believe this lesson has about 100 in there. So maybe I'll finish this all in the next video, maybe not, but definitely I won't leave you hanging on this particular lesson. All right, have a good one. See me in the next video.